we look on H4, we can see this looks like a head and shoulders. But what are head and shoulders? They're a technical pattern. And if everyone's looking at trading the same thing, what you need to understand with trading as well, when something looks so obvious to the masses, who do you think knows that? The hedge funds, the market makers, whatever you want to be calling them, they're going to understand that that is what a majority of technical traders are going to be looking for. So that's what you can decipher as a trap, because what they can then do is manipulate that market, get everyone trapped, and then fulfill liquidity. So let's just talk about an example play that could play out. If everyone's looking for this head and shoulders right now, what could happen is price carries on pushing up, trapping those short sellers, coming into their stops, which is obviously going to be an area of liquidity, and then go from here. So what I'm going to be looking at is to see whether we do push up to here, which is also what this look like, a fifth wave. So A, B, C, D, E, just like the inverse correlation of the DXY, which we discussed. So therefore, I'm going to be seeing, does price move up to this region? But also we can see we do have this area of H4 supply right here. So what we could do is come up into here, but I'm going to understand that if I do take a sell position from this region, it could result in a loss. And if this does push up to here, I'm not going to be bothered because I've already planned and already forecasted ahead of time that this could happen. So I would be willing to take 1% risk and a 1% loss if this does happen. I'll probably be managing aggressively because if we do push up, then I'm just going to look for another position once it comes up to here. So we don't need to get fixated on what could happen. We're saying that we had this kind of head and shoulders. We did have this area of supply to pay attention to, but I did say I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed just above it, just because this was such an obvious play. If we look at this, we've got left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If this is what the majority of technical analysis traders are going to be looking at, how could that be taken advantage of? As I discussed at the weekend, well, pushing a little bit higher, trapping those sellers, moving into their stops where liquidity is going to be living, and then it's going to be pushing down from there. And we just so happen to form what we look for as a fifth wave formation. Middle section, A, B, C, D, and E, where we've pushed off of. So I was naturally looking for sells from this region.